It's time for another fire alarm collection. It's been a while. I failed to do one last year during 2024. But I have gotten some new stuff. So now it is time to get started. We're going to do things a little different. Instead of having a bunch of alarms set out on my bed, I'm just going to showcase each individual one. We're going to start with notification appliances. Then we're going to do pull stations. Alright, so we're going to start with system sensor. Alright, so first up we got a system sensor mass. This is an older generation. Alright, up next we got a system sensor Spectra Alert Classic. Up next we got a system sensor P2W horn strobe. I have it set on 15 candela. Up next I got a system sensor SPSR speaker strobe, also set on 15 candela, and this is a new addition. And up next I got not one but two system sensor L series. This one is set on 75, I think. This one is set on 95 candela. I might be giving one of those away. Okay, now we got that out of the way. Let's move on to Edwards and EST. Okay, so I only have 3 alarms from Edwards and EST. Not a whole lot, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so for starters, I've got EST or Edwards Integrity. I think that's an Edwards Integrity. Fixed on 75 candela or 15. Yep. Next up, I got an EST Genesis horn strobe. Those are small and light. I'm sorry, small, but they're loud. Up next, I got a Genesis Chime. Yeah, this is meant to be used in places such as hospitals or in mental facilities. Yep. Alright, that's it with my EST stuff. Now we're gonna move on down to Wheelock. And Wheelock is pretty much what I have most of. Alright, so first up we got a Wheelock 7002T. Those are quite uncommon, and I'm very lucky that I acquired one of these. They're really known for their strobe skipping. And fun fact, the first ever fire alarm video that I ever watched was titled Fire Drill, and it was a video from 2014 where a man pulled a pull station. It was a motor fire or Firelight BG12, and the alarms that they had were these. And they sounded amazing. And sadly, that video was either privated or deleted from YouTube. So if you still have access to that video, please send me the link. Because those Wheelock 7002Ts in that video sounded amazing. Okay, up next I got my Wheelock, well, it's rebranded by Fawn. It is a 34T24R. So it's basically like a horn-only version of the 7002T. Up next, we got my absolute favorite fire alarm, and that is the Wheelock MT. This one has like 8 or 9 different tones, and my favorite tone on this is being March Time. I don't know, I just really love that tone on this alarm. I kind of wish it was its default tone, but I think I have it set to continuous at the moment. And this is an older one from the 90s. Pretty much one of the two of my schools that I've been to had the new ones installed outside of them. So yeah, that is it with the Wheelock MT. And I also recently acquired a horn-only version. It is a MT4-1224. And it's a horn strobe. I'm sorry, a strobe-only version, the MT. One of my elementary schools and my high school had these installed outside of them. So yeah, up next is the Wheelock AS. And this is the alarm that I've grown up with. This was in one of my elementary schools, in my middle school. And if you have been watching my videos since 2019, you would know that I got to sound off those alarms for fire drills. Okay, so, but the difference is the ones in my schools were the newer ones from like the 2000s. This is an older one from the 90s because it has no Candela selector. And the horn on this one is not as ear-piercing loud as the newer ones. I still haven't gotten around of getting a newer AS, but I will want to get one. Yep, and this is where you can select the tones. I have it currently set on medium volume code 3. And I forgot to point out that the Wheelock MTs outside of my schools were also set to code 3. Wait, that's it with the AS. Up next, I not only have 1, 2, but 3 Wheelock NS's. 2 of them in white and the 1 is in red. And I know I said this a lot, but one of my elementary schools had these. So yeah, one of the white ones, I might end up giving up to another enthusiast. Who might actually appreciate these. So yeah. Okay, next up we got the NS's cousin, the ZNS. But this one is rebranded by Siemens. And shoot, I forgot the NS's. This one is set on 30 candela. This one is set on 15, and this one is also set on 15. And that one is set on 30 candela. Sure, it's rebranded by Siemens, but still technically a Wheelock fire alarm. And next up, we got the NX's successor. Okay, I not only have not 1, but 2 Wheelock Exceeders. Yeah, this one is set on 110 candela. Yeah, and this one is set on 135, which is pretty bright, if you ask me. My high school had these, but most of them was ceiling mounted, and they were all in white. So, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it with the Exceeders. And, well, actually not, because I happen to own a horn-only version of the Wheelock Exceeder. Unfortunately, this fan is burnt out, so it no longer works. But, nonetheless, it's still a great addition to the collection. I'm not sure if those are common or not. If not, I'm lucky. This one is branded Wheelock Cooper. So, like I said, unfortunately, this thing is dead. But a nice addition to the collection. Okay, so up next, I got a Wheelock RSS. Strobe only. Yet, this is an RSS. And this is an older one because it does not have the candela selector. So, this is pretty much an older one. Alright, so up next, second to last from Wheelock, I got the Wheelock E70 speaker strobe. And this one is already fixed on 30 candela. Okay, lastly, I got another new addition, and this is actually a pretty rare addition. I got a Wheelock MIC horn strobe. Is a little mini horn strobe, and what is so rare about this one, because this one has an LSM strobe. Kind of like what the Wheelock E78 DL1s had, which I still haven't gotten around getting one, but I do plan to get one in the future. So yeah, pretty rare addition. I'm so incredibly lucky that I got this one. So up next, let's go up to Gentex. Okay, so I only have a couple things from Gentex. Unfortunately, like only 2 things. So first off, I got a Gentex Commander 3. Alright. This one is set on 30 candela. I've done a video on that alarm. And up next, I got a little Gentex GX90. Alright, that is it with my Gentex stuff. Now, let's showcase what I have for Simplex. Okay, so I only have like 5, well, technically 4 Simplex devices. I mean, notification appliances. Okay, so we're gonna start with the oldest one that I have, and that is the Simplex 2901-9838 mechanical horn, and it came with this Simplex 24958 white plate. Those are not very common, so I got incredibly lucky. Yeah, this is definitely an old school one. That is classic Simplex. Alright. Up next is my first ever fire alarm. And unfortunately, this one seems better days, and that is my Simplex 4903-9201. I don't think I've seen videos of this alarm. Unfortunately, wires are snapped. That is so unfortunate. And this one has tape over it because it has a huge, nasty crack on it. That is just sad. But I do want to get another 4903. But I still will keep this one because this one is a very special one to me. Given that this is the first ever fire alarm that I owned. Oh yeah. So, up next I got 2 Simplex Truets. This one right here is a 4906-9127. This is a Smart Sync one. So I can't really use this unless I have a panel. And this one right here is a 4903-9417. I'm pretty sure this one is a Smart Sync one. So again, I can't really use these unless I have a panel. The non-Smart Sync ones actually do work. If you just wire them up without a panel. But that's not the case with both of these ones, unfortunately. But okay, that is it with my Simplex notification appliances. Let's talk about some other stuff that I have. Alright, we'll start with my Siemens UMMT. This one is in white. I believe this one is set on 30 candela. Yep. Next up, I got my Amsico EXB6A407054 bell. I've done a video on that back in 2019. Right. Next up, I got this FCI I'm sorry, FSL strobe with a HP 1303 11.5B horn. Those are pretty rare, so and that is also a new addition to the collection. Alright, and I have another HP 13 031 500B, and this is a horn only, and it came with this space age white plate. I don't see a model on this one, but those are pretty rare. So again, I got incredibly lucky. It goes in like this. Okay, so that is basically it, but hold on, I got one more thing. Well, actually, I just got this dramatic kitty smoke alarm. Nothing too special, it's just a smoke alarm. I can't really take the mounting bracket off because it's difficult. But yeah, nothing too special about this. I got this at an estate sale. So, nothing too special. Okay, that's it with the other stuff. Now we're gonna move on to pull stations. Okay, so I got a different setup for the pull stations because I'm gonna be pulling and resetting every single one of these. So some of them, these are hard to pull and reset with just one hand. So I have my phone set on a little tripod. So let's get this show on the road. Let's start with an accessory, and that is being the the FTI Stopper 2. I don't know why the hell I said that. Right? And when you lift this up, normally this is a model with the loud, obnoxious siren in there. But I have the siren turned off, and I'm not going to turn it on for this video because that thing is so loud. Like, the siren is meant to, like, scare people that are in the building that are trying to pull the fire alarm for very stupid reasons. So, now let's get into the actual pulls. Wait, first up we got the FCI MS2. Okay, you have to flip this switch back down, just like so. Yep, that's the FCI MS2. Okay. Up next, I got the FCI MS6. This one is a bit harder to pull, but if you can do it, so can I. And this one just has a button, unlike the MS2, which has a switch that you need to flip back down. Did I get the wrong key? No, I didn't. Okay. Up next, let's move on to my Simplex pull stations. Let's start with the Simplex Chevron. It's a local alarm pull station, and those are not very common. So, and I know a bunch of collectors have this one. So all you do is pull, and I sure hope this is the right Allen wrench. If not, I'm gonna have to reset that one off camera. I should have left that one open. Oh, it's opening. Yep, I got it to open. Whoopie-doo. Now let's lock it. There. And up next we got the iconic Simplex T-Boys. Let's start with the oldest one that I have, and that is the 4251-20. Every collector must have a Simplex T-Bar. I don't know a single one that doesn't. Alright, and this one is my first ever pull station. And that is the Simplex 2099-9795. And like I said, this is the first ever pull station that I got in my collection. I got that along with the 4903. And I do plan on getting a dual action T-bar, as I've been wanting one for a while. And even if I end up getting too many Simplex T-bars, in the end, I'll still keep this one because this one is a very special one to me, given that this is the first pull station that I have. Okay, so we'll start with my newest pull station, and that is the Honeywell 5464A. And unfortunately, as you can see right here, the switch in this one is gone. It must have been taken out, so unfortunately I can't really use this. I got this as a Christmas present, but it's still a nice addition to the collection. So all you had to do is just pull down, and I'll be right back. I just realized that I forgot a flathead screwdriver. Okay, got back with my screwdriver. Okay, this is where you can put in the glass brake rod. It came with one, but I took it out. Yes, still a nice addition, but sadly, like I said, it's missing the switch. So unfortunate, because those are rare. Okay, so up next, I got the Pyrotronics MS51-47P1, or I just call it the MS51. So all you do is just pull down. Some of these are dual action, others are single action, which in this case, this one is single action. And it takes an Allen wrench to reset it. I'm going to show you the inside of it. Actually, no, I'm not going to. I'm just gonna lock it. Okay, that's that. Next one I got is a Gamewell Sanctuary. This is a much older one. I can't tell. I'm pretty sure this was conventional. So, yep. You have to flip the switch down. Those are great pull stations. I love these. Alright, so up next I got the auto call, the 4051-001T. Unfortunately, most of the wires have fallen off, and this one is starting to fall apart. So I'm gonna have to solder those. So all you do is pull down, and it takes a drywall screwdriver, a Phillips head. I'm just gonna use my fingers. Okay, now that I got that reset, alright, up next I got my Edwards 270 SPO. Is that Edwards or EST? Yeah, it's Edwards signaling. Wait. Up next, I got my Mercom T-Bar. I don't know the model of this one. I'll find out here shortly. Once I reset it. Okay, push in, pull down. Okay, so. Yep, there is. It is. Its model is a AMS that's 710U. Okay. So now that was it. And oh yeah, I forgot to show you my EST Siga. I should have shown that along with the 270 SPO. So it was with the pull handle and pull down. And put the switch. Okay, so now let's move on to the Firelight and Silent Night stuff. Let's start with on my unfortunately broken Silent Night that SD 500-PSDA. This is a dual action pull station. This is the pull station that I've grown up with. Those are in pretty much every school that I have been to. But pulling it is simple. You just have to whip this tab on some of them. Some of them don't even have the tab. And you just pull down. And it takes a Silent Night key to reset it. Unfortunately, this one is broken. That's sad. But still nice addition. I plan to get another one. Okay, so up next we got pretty much Firelight and Notifier now. Okay, so up next I got a Firelight BG6. Those are very rare. So that's how you pull them. And to reset them, you take an Allen wrench, and it goes on the top of the pull station. I'll just use my fingers. Yep. Alright. That was it with the BG6. Up next, I got the BG8. Unfortunately, this one is damaged, but still a nice piece in my collection. So, all you do is pull. And reset it. Yep, that's about that. And I might as well show you the Notifier NBG1R. No, it's not an NBG1R. The NBG1Rs are in red. This is an NBG1. My bad. Okay, it pulls like the BG8, and it takes a different key. So, yep, here we go. And up next is the pull station that I probably have most of. And oh yeah, I forgot to point out that the Simplex T-bars are my favorite pull stations. Okay, so this is the pull station that I have most of. Okay, I have not one, not two, not three, but 4 Firelight BG10s. The original models with the Hess lock. But I'm only going to pull one of those. So, yep. All you do is push in, pull down, and to reset them, you take an Allen wrench. Yeah, and it says, and it has a little caution label in there. And this is an original BG10. I'll set it. You have to tighten the Allen wrench. You don't want to tighten it too much because it can damage the housing. And most of these pull stations were recalled is that the little seal on the button can deteriorate over time. Alright, so I'm not done talking about the BG10 because I also had the BG10L. Yeah, it's basically the same, but it resets with a key, so push in, pull down, you take your Firelight key, Yeah, just like that. Okay, I only had 2 more pull stations. Up next, I got is a Firelight BG12. It's a Firelight Alliance by Honeywell. Unfortunately, this one is damaged. So I'm gonna have to get another one. Okay, so all you have to do is push in and pull down. And it takes an Allen wrench to reset. Some of them reset with keys. But this one takes an Allen wrench, so... Okay, and for the switch, you don't really have to flip it back up manually. You can just close it, and voila! It flips up automatically. I'll show you again. Just like magic. And lastly, we got a Firelight Alliance by Honeywell BG12S. This is it's like the one I just showed you, but except this one is single action, and this one uses pigtail wires. So all you have to do is just pull down. And to reset it, it takes an Allen wrench. And again, you don't have to flip that switch back up. You can just close it and it will flip back up automatically. Okay, so that is pretty much it for this fire alarm collection video. There's more to come. I'm still getting... For Christmas money, I'm getting a couple of new things. And there's gonna be more to come. So, until then, I'll see you in the next video.